In the course of this unofficial research, I became convinced that several of these killings had been carried out by a woman, and almost certainly by the same woman. Normally, I would have kept this theory to myself. My role at MI5 was administrative, not investigative, and there would have been raised eyebrows and condescending smiles if I'd brought the subject up with my superiors. I'd have been regarded as a slow-lane liaison officer getting above herself. Then, a Russian far-right political activist named Viktor Kedrin was shot dead at a London hotel along with his 3 bodyguards. I was accused of failing to organise adequate protection for Kedrin and fired. This was bitterly unjust, and everyone involved knew it. But we also knew that when the department fouled up as royally as this, and it didn't get much worse than the assassination of a high-profile principal like Kedrin, someone had to take the fall. Ideally, someone senior enough to count, but not so senior that they couldn't easily be replaced, someone expendable. Someone like me. Shortly after I'd cleared my desk and handed in my pass at Thames House, I was discreetly contacted by a long-serving MI6 officer named Richard Edwards who, unlike his counterparts north of the river, was prepared to listen to my ideas. Seconded to his off-the-books team and tasked with finding Kedrin's killer, I pursued Villanelle around the world. She proved a spectral and elusive quarry, always one flawless step ahead. All I could do was follow the blood trail and unwillingly admire her grim artistry. She was bold, free from guilt or fear, and probably a little bored by the ease with which she evaded detection. Flattered to discover that I was pursuing her, Villanelle began to do the same to me. One night in Shanghai, she climbed up the outside of my hotel into my room and stole my bracelet as a trophy. To make amends, and for the sheer effrontery of it, she broke into my house in London in broad daylight to leave me a different, and much more expensive, bracelet that she'd bought for me in Venice. These intrusions were as flirtatious as they were terrifying, whispered reminders that she liked me, but could kill me at any time she chose. Although I refused to admit it at the time, even to myself, this twisted courtship had its effect. Obsession is not immediate. It stalks you. It creeps up on you until it's too late to escape it. When I first saw Villanelle in person, it was by chance, and again it was in Shanghai. I was on a scooter caught in traffic, and she was walking down the pavement towards me, dressed entirely in black, with her blonde hair slicked back from her face. Our eyes met, and I knew it was her. Villanelle can be sweetness itself when she chooses, but that evening her gaze was as flat as a snake's. She claims that she recognized me on that occasion, just as I recognized her, but I don't believe her. She lies. She lies compulsively, all the time. Later that night, she lured my colleague Simon Mortimer into an alleyway and hacked him to death with a meat cleaver. The savagery of the attack shocked seasoned investigators of the Shanghai Homicide Squad, who had seen their share of triad killings and other horrors. Our second meeting, on the hard shoulder of a motorway in England, was orchestrated with chilling brilliance. I was driving back to London from a security services interrogation centre in Hampshire. My passenger was Dennis Cradle, a senior MI5 officer who, earlier that morning, had admitted to me that he was in the pay of the 12, the organisation that employed Villanelle to do their killing. I'd tried to turn Cradle to get him to inform on the 12 in return for immunity, and he'd responded by trying to recruit me, which was pretty fucking cheeky, all things considered. 20 minutes into the journey, we were flagged down by a female police officer on a motorcycle. It was Villanelle, of course, but by the time I'd figured that out, it was too late. Villanelle told me that she'd missed me, touched my hair, and talked about my pretty eyes. It was all rather romantic in its way. Then she disabled my car and abducted Cradle, leaving me stranded beside the motorway. Cradle probably thought he was being rescued. In fact, Villanelle drove him to a secluded spot outside Weybridge, smashed the back of his skull with a blunt instrument, I'm guessing a police...